You're looking fabulous! Have you lost weight? Please take a second to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our latest and greatest audiophile reviews. Audeze, the maker of widely celebrated planar magnetic headphones, has come out with a new flagship, the LCD-5. And while you can't necessarily tell by sight, these cans have indeed lost weight, coming in a third lighter than their predecessor, the LCD-4. I'm talking a mere 420 grams down from 735 grams. That's 1.5 pounds. In fact, the LCD-5 is significantly lighter than all other LCD series headphones. But weight loss isn't the only upgrade in the LCD-5. In fact, everything has been improved. The drivers, the ear pads, and the frame design. We'll get to all of that. But first, let's take a look at this beauty. So I really love everything about the LCD-5's aesthetic. You've got this black perforated head strap and sleek black carbon fiber headband, the tortoiseshell finish on the acetate rings, the cool design on the inside of the ear cups, the notched silver stems with black tips, the big pillowy premium leather ear pads, the all-new magnesium housing, the grille design. It's just a really good-looking headphone. Not only does the LCD-5 weigh less than 1 pound, it has a nice compact look to it, including the smaller ear cups. And I love that I can easily hold this headphone with one hand. Okay, technically I can hold any headphone with one hand, but the LCD-5 fits especially well in my hand. Audeze has also improved the structural design, incorporating magnesium, acetate, and carbon fiber to accomplish a lighter weight. You know what else fits nicely in my hand? The black aluminum travel case that comes with the LCD-5. It's kind of like a giant old school lunchbox, but much cooler looking. There is a notable lack of branding on the case, though you're not likely to forget what's inside. As far as comfort, I think it goes without saying that the lighter weight of the LCD-5 makes it a very comfortable headphone. Look, I love Audeze headphones for their sound, but throw the LCD-4 on my head and I'm not gonna last too long. It's a fabulous sounding headphone, but it's not necessarily ideal for long hours of listening or for little heads. Clamping force on the LCD-5 is solid, allowing me to turn and shake my head without having to adjust the cans on my head. Now, as far as sound, the LCD-5 has a neutral analytical signature with incredible resolution and top-end energy. But it's also got some musicality to it that makes for an engaging and enjoyable sound. The bass is tight and punchy, while mids and upper mids are on the forward side. The LCD-4 also has an analytical sound, but treble on the LCD-4 is a bit smoother and less prominent. There is also some upper mid recession on the LCD-4, which can set vocals back a little. Bass is powerful, deep, and tight. The LCD-4 is not a bassy headphone per se, but the bass on the LCD-4 is more striking to my ears. So as I mentioned, the LCD-5 features a new driver design. It's still got Audeze's patented Fluxor magnet array, but it's a single-sided array as opposed to the double-sided array in the LCD-4. This contributes to the headphone's lower weight. The very strong magnetic field generated by the Fluxor magnets allows for incredible control over the driver diaphragm, resulting in some of the best resolution you'll hear. Paired with Audeze's upgraded Phasor waveguides and new parallel Uniforce voice coils, this leads to even better diaphragm control and improved resolution on the LCD-5. Now, while the LCD-4 featured Audeze's nanoscale Uniforce diaphragm, the LCD-5 introduces the nanoscale diaphragm with patent-pending parallel Uniforce voice coil. Planar magnetic headphones are known for low distortion, achieved in part through a more uniform magnetic force, or flux, across the diaphragm. But the magnetic force is almost never perfectly uniform. Audeze's solution was the Uniforce voice coil. This varies the width of the conductor, so it's wider where the magnetic field is stronger and thinner where it's weaker. This lets all parts of the diaphragm experience the same force. The new parallel uniforce diaphragm achieves even more uniform force by altering the current density within each parallel circuit trace. The LCD-5 also features Audeze's newly designed low-profile phasor waveguides, which help to reduce diffractions and extend the upper frequencies. They're a way to keep sound waves from interfering with each other. You can think of phasors like guides for sound, maneuvering the sound waves out of the drivers in an even and smooth way without interfering with each other. Each phasor element is placed just outside the magnets that drive the diaphragm, allowing the sound waves out in a more even and parallel direction, reducing interference and diffraction, or scattering of sound waves. By reducing the resistance to the natural flow of sound waves, Audeze's phasor arrays accomplish multiple goals while adding minimal weight and greater performance. You can check out our written review, linked below, for a more in-depth explanation. The LCD-5 also boasts new internally sloped ear pads that slope downward toward the driver in a near triangular shape. This helps to reduce unwanted resonances and interior reflections. Now, there's one more thing to note on the technology side. Impedance on the LCD-4 was 200 ohms. It's down to 14 ohms on the LCD-5. Now, that doesn't mean that the LCD-4 was difficult to drive, but you got less gain on that headphone, meaning that you had to crank the volume knob more, especially on quieter tracks. The LCD-5 is both easy to drive and gets better gain. That being said, even though you could drive the LCD-5 from, say, your phone, we find that planar magnetic headphones really come into their own the more power you throw at them. Now, a quick note about cables. I chose to pair the LCD-5 with a Black Dragon premium headphone cable, which features UPOCC copper strands plus premium solder and connectors. The Black Dragon smooths out the top end without sacrificing detail, and with the LCD-5 being a wonderfully detailed headphone, that's not something I wanted to give up. The Black Dragon is a natural sounding cable that slightly warms the bass and mid-range tones for a more musical sound with added body and weight, which I thought suited the LCD-5 quite nicely. Of course, everyone hears differently and has different preferences. Head on over to moon-audio.com to learn more about Dragon cable pairings. Now, I often gravitate toward a warmer, fuller headphone sound. At least that's the sound that will grab me right away. But the more I listened to the LCD-5, the more I grew to appreciate it. When I wanted a focus on vocals and details, the LCD-5 came through for me. Paired with the Black Dragon cable, the LCD-5 took on some additional body and weight to please my ears. Overall, this is a headphone for those who enjoy critical listening. It's not a bass heads headphone, and it's not fun sounding, which can be achieved through a lift in the low and high frequencies and a dip in the mid-range. But it's got some musicality to it that makes it an engaging headphone. If you own the LCD-4 and are wondering whether to upgrade to the LCD-5, I'd say the lighter weight alone is a compelling enough reason. Throw in the added musicality, top-end sizzle, and low impedance on the LCD-5, and you've got a headphone that's different enough and better enough to warrant the upgrade. If you want to learn more about the LCD-5, which goes for $4,500, check out our written review, which we've linked below. If you have any questions, leave us a comment, and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our audiophile reviews. Thanks so much for watching.